I was just going to say, and that's why I got my notebook out. Sorry, I had to go up and get it. So what I see happening, I've made this this comparison, I guess, or this analogy, whatever. It seems like there's a parallel here. Right around, like, remember you guys don't remember. I don't remember the Roaring '20s, right? During the when stock market blew. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
No, we're in the Roaring '20s of crypto. This is the Roaring '20s.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Is like we're in. I think everybody keeps talking about this recession that's coming. I'm not saying it's not, but I'm going to say that what I see, at least from like societal, socio-psychological, psychological, social, whatever. We're a lot like that era right now because there used to be what's called the nouveau rich, right? The newly rich, the new rich. And these were, again, young people who suddenly became rich too much, too young, too fast, right? Yep. Okay, so that's why I asked about the age earlier, about the girl, Harry Potter girl. And but that's one example of a lot of people who are like I met a lot of people at PulseCon, very good people. Like, hey, okay, I'm a Mexican, right? But what struck me was there's a lot of very young people, like in their 20s, like mid to late 20s, who were very enthusiastic about, and that's just one coin. That's just Richard Hart's coin, right? But like I can also make this comparison to people who are getting into, say, like new media. We were having this conversation on my show yesterday about the separation between like old media and new media, like engagement media versus the old school, the dying old school media, right? Yeah. But the new media, the people who are in new media right now are making money hand over fist. Yes. So you've got, what did you say? She was had $32 billion. That's the company. The company. She was in charge.
Of crazy money.
Right. Yeah. I mean. So and then so what happens is you can indulge any like bullshit, crazy theory that you have, like whatever hey, let's invest $1 billion in Brazilian power crystals and shove them up our ass or something, and people will go, yeah, that's because it's that much money, and people go, well, maybe got something there. You might have something there. Let's see if it works, right? So they will. It sounds crazy, like poly this and amphetamines that and whatever, and there's more. Wait, there's more. Yep. But all that stuff sounds like it's like it makes sense. Yeah, to the tune of $1 billion, I'm sure it makes a lot of sense because people will nod in agreement. Give me the money. But the other part of this is the violence part of it, like people getting disappeared, people accidentally drowning, and I know we're joking about sending them to the bottom of the lake with cinder blocks.
But not really.
It happened less than 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. And so what I'm saying is right now, the nouveau rich and the people who are, especially in the crypto, I would say probably more so in the crypto community, the people who know. Right? Yeah. And the people who are on the outside, the normies on the outside, the people in the government, we were just talking about how oblivious, the people who are on the finance committees, and that's why I say, is our crypto czar. There's maybe one guy who knows something, and even he's probably not even all that plugged in as much as, say, BitBoy or other people, people we would even know that were just anonymous names online right now. But those guys do know, and those guys will kill for it. Yep. Yeah. And the reason for that is because you can't call the cops. Because the cops don't understand. You're speaking you're speaking Chinese to them. They don't know, right? And if you try to take them to court, the judge doesn't know jack shit about this. The lawyers don't know jack shit about this. The only people who know anything about this are the people who are involved in it right now. So then what you get is 1920s, Prohibition era America, where nobody's going to go and report the guy down the street who's making bathtub gin because he's making it too, and you guys will fight it out because you can't go to the G-men, right? You can't go to the police because if you go, you'll get busted just as much as he will. Right. And so now the only thing is it's because nobody understands it. Nobody understands the legalities of it. There is no law enforcement really that can come in and sort of settle these things. What you have is gang violence.
Yes.
Yeah, so what happens is and that's, I say gangs, but crypto, at least in my estimation, from what I've been able to, from a socio-psychological perspective, they're tribes. They're each tribes, and they're warring tribes after a while. And so somebody talks shit about somebody else, and somebody really tries to damage that tribe or try to damage that coin in this case. Yep. Or really in the hustle economy, it's you're your own sort of brand of me. You're your own personal influencer brand and stuff. So if you disagree with somebody, you're not disagreeing with what they said. You're disagreeing with the brand and the personality and the money, and you're affecting their revenue and their bottom line. Yep. you can't go to the cops. You can't go. You certainly can't file some sort of stupid, defamation or libel suit unless you've got a lot of money to do that, and you're going to lose money in doing it as well.
Yep.
You might actually send Guido over there to break the guy's legs, to do something like that. And just because it's like it's the Wild West, and so the only justice in the Wild West is frontier justice.
Right.
And that's I see that not only in sort of my spheres, but like now I'm seeing a lot. Here we are. Yeah. Here we are with this. I mean, and how badly. And this is my next question. How badly did all this bullshit and all this, I'm going to stab him, he stabs me back, like frontier justice, how much did that affect all the other coins as a result of that one intertribal warfare that was going on there? The other tribes get damaged because two tribes go at each other.
If they're big enough.
Right. If they're big enough.
If they're big enough, yes. Mm-hmm. Like the FTX.